Welcome to Family Law Talk. Family Law Talk. Presented by Kirk Stange of Stange Law Firm, PC. Stange Law Firm is a multi-state family law firm. Now, here's your host, Kirk Stange.
Welcome to Family Law Talk. We have an interesting topic today. The topic is hiring a family lawyer. And this is based on an article on our blog, familylawheadquarters.com, dated March 8th, 2024. And the title of that article is, When Should I Hire a Lawyer? So as a follow-up to the episode today, go on over to familylawheadquarters.com and read the article on this same topic for more information. But let's go ahead and jump on into the topic at hand. Many contemplate when they should hire a lawyer in a divorce or family law matter. And where this can be tricky for a lot of individuals is really the months and the weeks leading up to the divorce or family law matter. Oftentimes individuals think, should I do it now? Can I wait a little while longer? Can I wait until later? I mean, these are typical questions that lots of individuals really spend a lot of time contemplating. And the truth is, in terms of divorce in particular, there can be this situation, if you will, kind of a quasi-state of denial about the divorce. So sort of a divorce denial where individuals know the marriage is not going well, they're not getting along, and maybe there's a lot of talk about divorce and the word divorce is being thrown out there. And individuals are just not sure. Do I need to hire the lawyer now? Can I wait? And this could particularly be the case for individuals who really don't want a divorce. Maybe they want to keep the family intact, and maybe they're worried about the impact or the effect on the kids. And so they're in this sort of state of denial. And they just wonder, can divorce or family law matter, can it be avoided? Can cooler heads prevail in this whole situation, work itself out? Some individuals during this time frame might seek to go to marriage counseling or seek mediation or something like that to try to avoid litigation. And so individuals are really stuck wondering, should I hire a lawyer? Should I not hire a lawyer? And what some individuals worry about is that if they hire the lawyer first, they might be worried that they're the ones setting off the divorce or family law litigation, particularly if they're still married and their spouse finds out that they hired a lawyer. And it could even be after a divorce, like on a modification or some other case, some other kind of family law case. They worry that if the other party finds out they've hired a lawyer, then they're going to lawyer up too, and then this whole thing is going to spin out of control and turn into litigation. And so individuals can ruminate on this. They can contemplate on it. They could be torn on it. Do I hire a lawyer? Do I not hire a lawyer? Sometimes individuals will seek out the advice of friends or family law, friends or family, and they contemplate and ask them, what do you think? And hearing my situation, should I hire a lawyer? Should I not hire a lawyer? Something like that. I mean, very, very common for people to be stuck here. And at times individuals might be stuck here for weeks and months, and they just don't know what to do. All right. Look, every situation is different. Every case is different. The facts are always different. So certainly, nobody can ever give black and white answers to these kinds of questions. Obviously, any individual that's in the midst of a divorce or family law matter, they are going to need to come to this decision on their own through careful reflection, careful contemplation, and really a thorough review of what's going on. Is a divorce really happening? Is it unavoidable? Am I living in divorce denial? Or is this a speed bump? Is this a storm that's going to pass? Okay, every situation's different, and again, nobody can tell anybody definitively what to do in this situation. But I would just say this as a general rule, and again, I say this very generally, and really anybody in this situation has got to make the right decision for themselves. But I would just say, as a practical matter, if somebody is really spending a lot of time thinking about whether they should hire a lawyer or not, they probably need one. Because if the situation was good, if things were moving in the right direction, they probably wouldn't even be contemplating over this question. And so, in a lot of ways, individuals, when they take a lot of time here, just sort of torturing themselves. At the end of the day, if it's bad, it's bad. If they're thinking about getting a lawyer, their mind probably wouldn't be going there if the situation was good. So for most individuals, if you're spending a lot of time thinking about whether you should hire a lawyer or not, you probably should, as a general rule. Again, every case is different, every circumstance is different. But if this is really occupying a lot of your mind space, for most individuals, they ought to go ahead and find a lawyer, okay? And a lot of individuals say, well, why? If they're not positive the divorce or family law matter is going to happen, why do they need to hire a lawyer? Well, look, the truth of the matter is that the months and the weeks leading up to the divorce or the family law matter can actually impact the outcome of the divorce or family law matter. And a lot of individuals say, well, why is that? Because look, there could be phone calls, there could be text messages between the parties. Lots of individuals begin a divorce living in the same home, so there could be arguments, there could be bickering that's taking place. Heaven forbid, in some cases, there could be violence. Somebody could get upset, throw something, say something that they shouldn't, say, all these kinds of things. And for a lot of individuals, this ultimately can impact the outcome of the case. Whereas if they had a lawyer, then when they get really upset, when they get really stressed out, and they don't know what to do, it's a wonderful thing to be able to call a neutral person who's a lawyer who can help guide them, hopefully help calm them down and put them in a better place, and certainly give legal advice as well in terms of what to do, what not to do. I mean, there can be situations where the money issues get to be a big deal, where, people are moving money, which they shouldn't do on the eve of a divorce, spending money in outrageous sums maybe on the eve of the divorce, which they shouldn't be doing. And all of these kinds of decisions, it would be great for most individuals to have a lawyer who they can bounce off their circumstance and their questions to, which then ultimately ought to lead to them making better decisions. And if they make better decisions in the months or weeks leading up to the divorce, the hope is that they have a better outcome. All right, so again, for most individuals, if hiring a lawyer is occupying your mind space and you're spending a lot of time thinking about whether you should, whether you shouldn't, for most individuals, that's a sign that you probably should, okay? Even the most calm and level-headed individuals out there probably need somebody to talk to in terms of the weeks or the months leading up to the divorce or the family law matter, to make sure that they're doing the right thing, saying the right thing, and not acting in a way that's inappropriate. The truth is, without a lawyer, many are left to flounder, stress, and make mistakes that ultimately worsen their case and might impact the outcome in and of itself. Now, look, a lot of individuals, and this is kind of a topic for a different day, in terms of the weeks or the months leading up to divorce or family law matter, ought to consider seeing a counselor. I mean, seeing a counselor, a life coach, something like that can be really important and critical as well. But on top of that, hiring a lawyer is a good thing for most individuals. Again, if you're thinking about whether or not you need a lawyer, it's bad. And if it's bad, you probably need a lawyer. Now look, let's say the situation can be averted. Let's say there's a positive outcome and there's a reconciliation, and then there's no need for the divorce or family law matter because a compromise is made, or maybe the marriage is reconciled, something like that. Well, look, the worst that happens there is that whatever the balance with the attorney is, so if they paid a deposit or a retainer, whatever the balance is, they get that back. And obviously they pay for the time that the lawyer expended helping them, but that's kind of a worst case scenario. And so, look, there's really no harm in hiring a lawyer in the end. If you think it's bad, it probably is. And I would just say, again, in representing lots of clients through divorce or family law matters through the years, people can have a tendency at times to minimize how bad it is. And they can have a lot of hope that it's going to get better. These are all good things. But at the same time, if you're even thinking about the need for a lawyer, you probably need one. It's probably smart to get one, and there's really no risk in doing so. If you end up not needing the lawyer, then you get your money back. But if you end up needing a lawyer because the case goes, the divorce is filed or the family law matter is filed, then for most individuals, you're going to be happy you got a lawyer. because by not hiring a lawyer, you might do things that are ill-advised, that are hurtful to the case, that make you look bad to the court, and you're going to be happy that you hired a lawyer instead. So you've got somebody who can talk to you, can lead you in the right direction, and give you a really neutral perspective. And on top of it, for most individuals, getting some advice in terms of the law, because most individuals don't know what the law is specifically in terms of how family courts decide these cases. And so knowing the laws, the case law, the guidelines, these kinds of things can be really critical for most parties in terms of making decisions that are made based on logic and reason versus simply emotions, okay? So again, the topic today, again, is if you're thinking about hiring a lawyer, if that's really occupying a lot of your mind space, you should probably go ahead and hire one. And delaying could only lead in a lot of circumstances to bad decisions being made, and these bad decisions can ultimately impact the case result itself. So if you're thinking about hiring a lawyer, it's probably time to get one. All right? As a follow-up to the episode today, go on over to familylawheadquarters.com, read the article titled When Should I Hire a Lawyer? The date of that article is March 8th, 2024. So go ahead and read that article as a follow-up to the episode today. But thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned to our next episode coming up on Family Law Talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Family Law Talk with Kirk Stange. Visit StangeLawFirm.com for more about today's topic or to put Stange Law Firm to work for your family today. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Neither the Supreme Court of Missouri or Illinois reviews or approves certifying organizations or specialist designations. The information you obtained in this podcast is not, nor is it intended to be, legal advice. You should consult an attorney for advice regarding your individual situation. We invite you to contact us and welcome your calls, letters, and electronic mail. Contacting us does not create an attorney-client relationship. Please do not send any confidential information to us until such time as an attorney-client relationship has been established. Past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits. Kirk Stange is responsible for the content. Headquarters, Office 120 South Central Avenue, Suite 450, Clayton, Missouri 63105. Kirk Stange is licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Kansas.